Hi, guys. It is Simon from 1075 Dave Rocks, and joining me on their current tour is The Warning. Ladies, thank you so much for taking the time.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here, Simon. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Of course. So right now, you guys are obviously on tour. You're traveling across Canada with the Standstills and 3 Days Grace. And you're playing right here in Kitchener tonight, which is amazing. So how is the tour going so far for you guys?
It's been great, but it's been cold.
Yep, it has been. But you know what? Today is actually, it feels like spring here.
Yes, I'm not using my huge jacket. I'm in a sweater with layers, but still just a sweater. But it's been rough health-wise. Like we all got the flu, and we've been who's healthy and who's not. But we're making it work. We're making it work.
That's why we're missing a member right now. Actually,
Anna's not here right now. She's resting, so she can play. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good, but that's unfortunate that you guys all caught the flu. But I'm happy you guys are, starting to feel better again. And so that was another one of my questions about, what's the weather been like for you, and how are you enjoying the Canadian weather?
Well, we're not used to it. Not even a little bit. In Mexico, you don't even get like a feet of snow, nothing.
At least where we live, the coldest it gets in winter is 0 degrees.
And that's it.
Everything here has been really, really cold. And it's just weird. I'm wearing 2 layers of pants to play shoes.
And then you see people outside and
t-shirts.
And shorts. And you're like,
why? Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
Well, you know what's funny? About 3 weeks ago, we all of a sudden had this weird heat wave where it was 20 degrees. And I'm just like, wait a minute, this can't be November. So I was actually rocking shorts in November. And then all of a sudden, winter's just like, oh, wait, no, here we come, and smack. And then all of a sudden it just dropped to below zero. And then we got some snow. But, looking out the window here, it's looking pretty green.
We'll give you the Canadian experience.
All
right. Yeah.
That's right. So the Canadian experience then, poutine. Have you guys had a poutine yet?
We haven't. Can you imagine that?
I feel like we're the only ones who haven't.
I know. We have to.
I've had gravy separately. I've had the cheese curds.
Yeah.
Wait, no. We have tried it. Not this leg, but the first leg we did try. I did try poutine.
But it was like a fast food poutine. It wasn't like a traditional one, I think.
Debatable.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want fast food poutine. You got to go find a little, mom and pop diner, and you got to get the real thing.
Okay. Yeah, I know. No, we haven't experienced that, unfortunately. Yeah, we have to. We have to.
Well, make sure before
you can go look for one.
There you go. That's it. Before you leave Canada, you have to get a Canadian poutine. So let's start from the very beginning. You guys basically became internet famous for your cover of Metallica's Enter Sandman, which absolutely blew up. And right now, you guys are over 24 million views. That is insane. And Kirk Hammett of Metallica even reached out and gave you guys the seal of approval and you guys absolutely kick ass. Now, what was that experience like for you?
It was great. I mean, I think in our tiny young brains, we didn't really register really what was happening, because it was a long time ago. It was 2004.
I was 12.
Yeah. It was crazy to think about, but we were absolutely. I mean, we were very happy.
We were just very excited. But it was our first experience with everything ever.
Yeah.
Right.
So we started getting interviews and playing shows, and we're just starting out. Mm-hmm. But it was just very exciting to think that was the beginning of our career.
Yeah.
Right.
And it definitely threw us
it gave us a boost.
And it was just diving straight into it.
Oh yeah.
From the very beginning, we didn't just slowly go into the music business. It was just you're in it now.
Yeah.
So it was very nice that we did it as a family, because we were really young. Our parents helped us out through everything, and they still do. So I feel like we gained a lot of experience that you gain over many years in just the very beginning of it.
Yeah.
Right. And then Oh, you were saying it like all of a sudden, like everything was just like boom, you're like into the industry, and you appeared on Ellen, and then you guys did like a few weeks at Berkeley as well, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, we took the 5-week program. We took that spot for, learning even more, because it's what we really, wanted to do. And at that point we were starting out writing our own music. So we were experimenting, the different paths of the music industry and what we really wanted to do. So yeah, by the time that we started making our own music, we were just like 100% convinced that yes, this is where we belong, man.
Amazing.
And now, yes, we started releasing albums, and we eventually we're here.
You're here in the Great White North, as us Canadians call it, and so. Speaking of Metallica, you guys also appeared on the Metallica Blacklist album with Alessia Cara, who's a fellow Canadian. Now, how are you guys approached to be a part of this big project?
Oh my God, we actually got invited. It was a huge shock to us, like totally. And they asked like so politely, would you like to be a part of this? And we're like, what were we gonna say? Like, no. Let me check my calendar. No, like,
right? Yeah, I think I can move some things out of my way.
So we were super excited, especially making a version of Enter Sandman, which kind of started it all.
It was a very full circle moment, and doing it alongside Alessia was amazing. It was still the pandemic, and we had a week to do the version, to do the arrangement, to record it. Mix it and master it, right? So, and we were doing everything remotely. Like Alessia was here in Canada, we were in Mexico. Max Squire, who was a producer for the version, traveled to our hometown in Mexico, and we recorded. It was crazy. It was like we did so much in like such a
but we're super proud of this project. We love it. And we love that we had a chance to do something different with such an iconic and important song to us. Just kind of makes our sound, Alessia's sound, and keep Metallica's, iconicness in the version. Yeah.
But you know what? And like what I really liked about your version is that you guys made it your own. You just didn't do like, a note for note version of Enter Sandman. You guys put your own spin and twist on it. And that's what I really, really loved about, this album, because all of these bands would go into this and you're like, okay, it's just them going to do a cover version. But then you listen to it and everybody's version is just completely different. You're like, whoa, how did you didn't know that you could turn such an iconic heavy tune and kind of mellow it out, put your own kind of vibes into it. And like, it was just like everybody's contribution to that album was just phenomenal. So I really loved how you guys put your own twist and spin on it, and you made it your own. So like, kudos to you guys. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was very fun.
So now you've also obviously been touring with you have toured with Metallica, Guns N' Roses, the Foo Fighters, the Pretty Reckless. Now, what was that experience like to tour with these massive bands, and like what kind of stuff did you take away from them? Like, did you learn anything from them, or were they just kind of like, we're the pros, you just kind of just go with it essentially?
Right. I mean, we learned a lot from each and every tour that we did, especially, how to tour. Because this has been like the first year that we've been touring nonstop. And how to deal with that and that much time away from home, and just not being in a single place for 24 hours can, take a toll. It's like you have to get used to it, have to learn how to manage it. So like your own body is like
getting like to ask the people who have been doing this for a while how they handle it. And more than anything, not only like musician wise, but person wise as well, you grow so much during all these experiences.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I feel like our whole team, like us as a crew and as a team, we grew so much from these experiences because it's our first time doing it.
Right.
And I feel like we've been learning things from all the crew as well. Like, I feel like that's where you really learn. Like, everyone who is involved in everything, you're picking up a lot of things.
Amazing. Now, what was it like stepping out onto stage in front of 60,000 plus people for the very first time? Were you guys leading up to that first show? Yeah, I bet you guys had that whole entire week was probably all sleepless nights. And then when you are there at the venue and then you're like, okay, you guys, curtain call is starting in 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, everything probably just all hits you at once. And you're like, okay, here we go. But what was it like stepping out on stage for that first time to 60,000 plus people looking at you guys?
It was insane.
Our first stadium show ever was with the Foo Fighters in Mexico City.
Yeah.
In Foro Sol.
Especially being in our country means the world to us.
And
right.
It was insane. I got goosebumps just
thinking about it. But you're totally right in how you describe it. It's just moments leading up to it, you're just this
is not happening.
What's about to happen?
And then you're just kind of shaking. I feel like we've gotten really good with nerves over the past few years, and over the in most shows it's just excitement. Yeah. But when in those shows it was I'm about to puke.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no, it was pretty intense. But once you're up there, the nerves just melt away. And
right.
It's just
you're about to do your thing, It's
just in front of 60,000 people. Which
no big deal. It's just there's 60,000 people watching us right now. We got this. But
it's intimidating because if they react well, it's awesome. But there's always that sliver of doubt, maybe they will stonewall us and they will not react at all. They won't even clap. Thankfully, that hasn't happened. People always have reacted very well to our shows, and it's also a thing. You as an opening band, you want to give a good show,
right?
So
the crowd
excited. Obviously they're already excited, but I feel it's really important as an opening band to get them hyped. Yeah, already with adrenaline. So thankfully, so far with what we've seen, we've been doing a good job with that. And thankfully, over the next few shows, we can still keep doing that.
Amazing. Now, your first full-length album, Error, dropped back in June, which I have to say, I love the track Money. I love how it starts off. And that drum beat is just I feel like that song, you're going to hear that in stadiums and arenas for sporting events, because it's just one of those songs that'll just get you going. Now, how did this album all come together, and what's the reasoning behind the album title?
Oh, okay. All right. So thank you, by the way. Yes.
Yes, Money is a really fun song to play live as well. But Error was created back in 2019, and we recorded it during the pandemic in 2020. And we recorded the whole album in New Jersey for 4 months, which is more time than you can usually take. But the whole world was at a stop, so we took that time. And then,
as for the title, Error, we actually picked it out because first of all, it's bilingual. It's the same word.
And error, it's the same thing.
In Spanish and English. So we're just yes, let's go. And the whole album is kind of from the perspective of our generation, who grew up very, very differently now that we have the technology and the knowledge available to absolutely everything with just, our phones and stuff like that. So it's the point of view of a lot of different themes and stuff from how we see them now as a generation. And Error, I think it's just kind of the error in the code of what we're figuring out by ourselves, seeing of our programming kind of.
Interesting. Yeah. Wow. All right. That's pretty damn cool. So now once the tour wraps up, are you guys going to take some time off, or is it back into the studio, or what's the deal for you guys?
Time off doesn't exist.
No.
In rock and roll.
Well, I had to ask.
No,
that.
Yeah, no, we do get some, to kind of cool off after the tour, because it's very important to just kind of whoop.
This time we only have 5 days because we head to Colombia and Peru.
Yes, but it's enough.
Those 5 days are
essential.
It's more than nothing, so that's awesome.
But yeah, no, we finished the year in Latin America, and then we actually headed to to the States to do some writing. Woo. So we are starting up, you know, the creative juices will start flowing for the next one.
Beautiful. Now, where are you guys going to go to do writing? Because I know a lot of artists will go to like Nashville.
That's where we're going.
Hey.
Yes. And it's bound to be fun. Yeah.
Amazing. Now, so with that 5 days that you guys are going to have to kind of like decompress a little bit, like what is a typical day in the life for you guys when you're not on tour or not in the studio? Like what does a perfect day with no schedule look like for you guys?
Oh my
perfect
God.
day.
Okay, wait. So
What's
I have to
that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have to say a perfect like normal day where we have to work at home is different from when we have to decompress. So in the decompressing, there's a lot of sleeping. There's a lot of
For me, it's just I go back home and see the people that I've missed.
Yes.
Mhm.
See them, hang out, but hanging out in a chill way.
Yeah.
Like I can't be like in high energy. Like I can't go to parties that
No.
quickly. Like to go to parties, I usually take a whole week until I feel like I'm myself again,
Yeah.
and then I
Then
can start doing that.
for
But
me,
we
there's
usually
a
don't
lot
get
of-
that long.
For me, there's a lot of books, a lot of video games, sleeping.
Yeah, eating. I feel like that's the most important thing when we come back.
Mexican
Eating
food.
Mexican, like our food. Again, I miss it so much. Yesterday, I ordered a burrito in hopes of it being
Authentic.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it probably fell extremely short, right?
It was actually pretty good.
It was good.
I'll give
It was
it-
good. I mean,
yes.
it had rice from there. It's
It's
just
already
like
wrong,
but
but
still,
I was happy with it.
yeah.
Okay, so I have one final question because I don't want to eat up any more of your data, and you probably want to just kind of relax a little bit before the big show tonight. Now, what is the most Canadian thing that you have seen so far on this tour, other than the snow?
All right.
So
Okay.
we were at a supermarket for a whole day. We were at a Walmart. That was our rest day at a Walmart.
What a way to spend your rest day at a Walmart.
But there were these beans. They were like maple style beans. It was
Maple
like
syrup
Canada's
beans.
very own maple beans. And I was like, what is that? What
That is
is
like
that?
too
Pickle
Canadian.
chips? What is that? We've
Dill
never
pickle chips.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. It was pretty interesting.
Now, have you had ketchup chips yet?
Oh, ketchup chips are kind of similar to something that we have in Mexico, but less seasoned.
Okay.
So they're not that strange. But the
Yeah.
dill pickle ones were really shocking.
I have to
me.
say I had a very Canadian interaction yesterday where people were being like so nice as to who would cross, you know, the door first. I was like, no, you go,
Yep.
no, you go first. I was just like,
Oh,
someone just go first.
yesterday we were in a bar because we were watching the World Cup game.
Right.
And obviously rooting for Canada. And everyone was just so excited. And they were like standing up to cheer. And they would sometimes block the TVs. And they would just turn around like, I'm so sorry that I'm blocking the TV. And I'm like, man, it's your country. I'm just here enjoying the atmosphere. I had never had that happen. They were so nice, even in their like World Cup excitement. It was very
Yeah, I
sweet.
feel like, you know, for as a Canadian, we say sorry just for the sake of saying sorry, no matter what it is, even if it's their fault. If they bump into you, you're just like, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, you bumped into me. That's a very, very Canadian thing. But that's funny about, you know, you were saying about the doors open and it's like, oh, after you. No, I insist after you. No. Who's going first? You're just like, somebody go first.
It's really cold.
Yes.
Somebody step in.
Yeah, somebody, let's go. But you know what, ladies, thank you so much for taking the time. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you have an absolutely incredible show, and we definitely expect a whole lot more. We are excited for a whole lot more from you guys because we love you up here, and we want you to come back very, very soon again and do it all over again. And maybe you'll get another 5 days to decompress.
Awesome. Hopefully we
Thank
do it
you
in the
so much.
summertime, so it's not cold.
Yes.
But we would love to come back here. Thank you. We always feel
Definitely.
very welcome and very loved. So thank you so much for all the support.
Oh, of course. And one last thing before I let you go. So this is kind of a thing that I do with all my Zoom interviews. I got to get a Zoom selfie. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. We're in here. Let me move the microphone and awesome. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great show tonight. And we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much. Keep rocking.
See you.